Perk, you live in Texas. I know this hits close to home for you.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And Steve Kerr hit close to home to me. We talked about him losing his father to gun violence. I lost my mother at the age of 5 to gun violence. And so a lot of people don't realize until it happened to them, right? And then you go to Texas. I can't speak for the country, but I know I could speak for Texas, a state that I was raised in, a state that I reside in. And you look at the leadership, right? It starts with the leadership. You look at, Greg Abbott, Ted Cruz, who's the leaders or so-called leaders who make these rules and things to that nature. And I go back to just thinking about the little thing of an ice storm. And I watched people there was millions of people that struggled, didn't have power, didn't have water, didn't have food through an ice storm. And then you watch our senator who represents the state get on the plane with his family and go to Cancun. Okay, bypass all that. We here today, we're talking about this. I knew things were going to happen like this, and it's sad to say, for the simple fact that when they passed this law last September, I actually tweeted out and said I'm thinking about relocating my family just because it's like the wild, wild west in Texas, okay? It's so bad to the point that I have a 10-year-old son. He's in the 4th grade. Guess what? He's in homeschool because I don't feel safe with him or my other kids going to school for the simple fact that it's too easy, not just for high schoolers and teenagers, but people in grade school to get to guns and bring them to school and for tragedies like this to happen. So unless, the leaders or quote-unquote leaders decide to put their pride and power aside and make the necessary adjustments to keep everybody safe, then look, we're not going to have change, and we're going to continue to be dealing with these type of situations. And it's hurtful because I just think about those kids that woke up, right, and didn't probably want to go to school, because you deal with that dealing with a 10-year-old and a 4th grader where they don't want to go to school, and the parents saying, you're going to school today. And now the parent have to live with that when they was only making the right choices. Or the kid that woke up and said he wanted his favorite cereal, or he wanted to put on these shoes, or he wanted to put on this outfit. Like, it's so wrong. And just me thinking about it, like the whole situation, my mind is so far for basketball right now, because when you have kids, you can relate to all those parents that lost their children yesterday.